Clubhouse sound absorption.
Can we sign this?
How do you want to handle this? Do you want to do this?
Let me just start. And then Bill Adams is here. He's the chair of the Buildings and Grounds Committee, and he's done a phenomenal amount of work on this proposal, and I know is willing and able to answer any questions that anybody has. You've had this, what I believe, a very well put together document. I think everyone should be of the opinion, not trying to put words in your mouth, but we need to do something about the acoustics in the clubhouse and the hall. There are 3 different proposals. Bill has put together from a variety of places the best numbers he can given where we are with these 3 proposals. What the Buildings and Grounds Committee would like would be for the board to select one. That's the choice, would be to select one if possible, although I guess you could select 2. And then direct the general manager to go out and get some actual bids so that we can deal with numbers that are meaningful and someone has bid on. You've had the document. If there's any questions you have, Bill certainly can answer them.
I have a question on that approach. Why, you know, and I talked to Bill over the weekend on this subject. His figures in there are, you know, his best guesstimate.
Right.
Why would we want to zero in on one of these guesstimates? Why wouldn't we go out and get real hard, fast bids on all 3?
We could do that.
And then we would know what we were really dealing with.
Unless the board wishes, when you're looking at this, to decide we don't want this one.
Okay, all right.
That's what we
All right.
It's not 3, it's 5, 6, 7. I think 7 proposals.
It's 9.
Well, if you get, there's 3 basic.
Well, there's 3 fundamentals,
Yeah.
and then there are variations on.
But there's also something here too, you don't want to go out and exercise that option if you don't intend to spend the money in this fiscal year or within a 3-month period.
Sure.
So I think the board should give the manager direction as to what the intent is.
Well, sure, I would agree with that. But I don't want to make a decision based upon a WAG.
Right.
It might be off by an order of magnitude. We didn't walk in.
But if there are approaches here that are not satisfactory to
Sure.
the board in some fundamental way,
Agreed.
we shouldn't waste time pursuing.
Agreed.
Yeah, I just had a question on this. Near as I can determine, we only have $5K in the budget for this line item, is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless, I'd say unless. We've got 2 other issues. I would not be one that would recommend using Friends of the Summit money to do this.
Yeah.
However, I could be influenced to recommend that the money we've gotten from the Ladies' Coffee be used towards this. If you take the money from the Ladies' Coffee plus 5, it'll get close.
65,
Maybe.
1,200.
Yeah, I think so. Some of them it's closer than others.
I think you need,
Unfunded requirement.
I think you need to ask the ladies' coffee back before that, about that before you commit.
I didn't commit. I just,
If that's,
I got asked the question.
okay.
Thank you.
The Ladies' Coffee, by the way, has given the general manager the check, as I believe, so it is in the board's hands.
I know, but they might have had some idea of what it was spent for.
Okay.
I just add something in on that.
Please.
Recall that I put out a proposal back in January for the hanging baffle section of this thing. And the reason the other 2 came up is the question came up, well, what would the architect say about this? So we went to the architect, we got the email that you have in your board book, and I simply wrote up his 2 proposals. Okay. My hope was that tonight we would kind of pick one on the aesthetic value plus the relative finances of the thing. The original proposal I gave you was basically the least cost proposal. It's not the prettiest, but it gets the job done and gets the job done well. Okay. I was hoping that perhaps you would all like debate which is more important. Should it be the aesthetics of perhaps the coffer design, or is the flush design a possibility, or how, you know, That's where I was hoping this thing would go tonight, and possibly narrow it down to which way do we really want to go on it. Bear in mind too that in terms of going out and getting bids, the least cost proposals, which again is the hanging baffle, is something that could be done in-house. It's a simple, it's a simple matter really of just going out and buying the baffles. And actually, Ray already has the purchase order for it. But that would of course have to be narrowed down between PVC covered baffles and cloth covered baffles, which has become yet another issue. Do we want them pretty or do we want them functional? And there's a significant price difference between the two. So anyway, that's where I was kind of hoping it would go. At least get a kind of consensus one way or the other from individual members, perhaps vote on each one. Of course, I can't make a motion to that effect, but you guys can, so.
Let's see if we can narrow this down. Let me make a radical proposal. I, for one, really like the way the clubhouse ceiling looks now. I'd be very fearful of spending a lot of money to try something acoustically that could change how that ceiling looks an awful lot. I would be all for just setting aside the hanging baffle approach because I don't know how it would look, and I think it would be too dangerous to take that move, that we would make something out of that ceiling that we wouldn't like anymore. I don't think we're doing motions right now, we're discussing.